Hi, this is Rebecca Sutton with the Resilient Women Club. That's resilientwomen.club, where I help women struggling with mental health issues become confident entrepreneurs. I have with me today Laura Beth, and she's going to share a little bit about her story. Tell me about yourself, Laura Beth.
Okay, well, I am a 53-year-old mom of four daughters, been married a few times, have been through a lot in my life, and currently have a YouTube channel that specializes in helping people that are being narcissistically abused find a way out sometimes, or find coping skills to manage to stay in the situation if they can't get out, and to basically just build up their self esteem and help them move forward in their lives.
Tell me a little bit about some challenges you've had in your life.
Oh gosh, we could be here a long time. I've had more challenges than probably blessings, I would say. Well, as I said, I've been married three times. So obviously, I have been married, divorced, married, divorced. So divorce is one of the first challenges. Um, from the time I was born, I struggled. Honestly, I was born not prematurely, but I had oxygen depletion as a baby and struggled and fought to live. And I've been a fighter ever since. So every time an adversity would come my way, I just seemed to know how to overcome it and bounce back from it. My biggest thing that helped me kind of launch into my career, if you will, was being abused by a pastor's daughter. Stuck in a trailer for 6 weeks with her while she pretty much gave me the silent treatment for most of those weeks, acted as if I did not exist, um, made fun of me and mocked me when she did talk to me, tried to turn her children and my friends against me. She was definitely a narcissist and possibly had borderline personality disorder. And I remember leaving that situation feeling very disillusioned and shocked that, this was a person I was supposed to do missionary work with, go to Africa with. How could she treat me this way? That was literally what fueled my current outreach, Delusion Dispeller, which is on YouTube. And I've also talked to people in person and over the phone, helping them, dealing with people like this and realizing that they were not the one to blame. The other person has some deep seated issues, and sometimes that person can change, but rarely, really rarely in this case, could they with the NPD disorder. But even if they did or didn't, what they're saying to you to put you down, to make you feel bad, you don't have to take that on personally and believe that about yourself. You can still have good self worth. You can still believe in yourself in spite of what other people think of you. And that's basically the gist of my outreach.
That is so true. That's so true. So tell me, do you have any particular tools in your tool belt that you use when adversity strikes?
Well, my biggest tool, first of all, I'm a godly person. I call myself a little bit of a mutt. I'm a little bit of Messianic Jewish and a little bit of word of faith, and I believe that what God says about me is first and foremost the truth, no matter what anybody else says about me. And that's usually the biggest tool I use for people, is because a lot of the women that come to me, and sometimes men, are discouraged. So I just simply say, hey, do you know what God thinks of you? He says you're the apple of his eye. He says you've been made in his image. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are not a mistake. You have a purpose and a plan that he formed in you before you were even in your mother's womb. So things like that, when we realize who we are to him, nothing else really matters. It doesn't matter what anybody's saying about you, because you know it's a lie unless it lines up with what God thinks of you. So that's my biggest tool, I think, is the Bible and just biblical truth and who God says you are and what you believe that God sees you as. Not as the world sees you, not as you even see yourself sometimes. It's hard sometimes because one of the things I tell people to do, one of the first things, and they hate this, is look in the mirror. Go in your bathroom, go in your bedroom, look in the mirror, and say, that person that I see in the mirror, that's me, and I'm beautiful, and I was made in God's image. And even though I'm fat, even though I have zits on my face or whatever, I was still made in God's image, and I'm beautiful. And he has a purpose and a plan for me today. And he has my life in his hands every moment of every day. And it just really, people need to hear that because a lot of people, especially women, I've noticed, have been abused. And a lot of times it's by their own mother, the person that they look to and look up to form who they're going to be as women. And when your mother puts you down, tells you you're ugly, oh, you don't want to wear that thing, you're going to look fat or whatever, you hear that in your head. So we try to work on erasing those tapes and replacing them with better tapes, positive messages that, okay, so I'm fat, big deal, whatever, I'll lose the weight eventually, but right now this is who I am, and I love me, and I'm a special person. So it's basically just teaching people that they're special and unique in their own way, and they have a plan and a purpose for their lives and a right to exist. They don't have to apologize for their
Right.
very existence. So many women I work with, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You're sorry for what? You didn't do anything. You have every right to be here and be who you are. So it's basically working with their self-esteem and their esteem in God, really.
That's great. Yes, I've been on your channel. You have a great community. What would you say about the idea of community?
Community is so important because no man is an island. It's good to have self esteem, but it's also good when you feel a little bit uncertain to have that person you can go to or that group that you can go to and say, hey, I'm struggling with this, or even to rejoice with them. It's not always the struggles, just to have people say, hey, that's awesome, way to go. A lot of women tend to marry men that are not real emotional and demonstrative with their emotions. So it's good to have other women and sometimes other men, friends, in a group community situation where they can give you those attaboys you need, those pats on the back, like, hey, good job, awesome. Or tell you, you can do it. I believe in you. We all need to hear that. We all need to have that
Right.
positive talk from other people as well as ourselves. In fact, there's a Bible verse that says, let another man's lips praise you and not your own. So we need to have that external reinforcement, that encouragement, that voice of faith or confidence when we don't have it in ourselves. So it is so important. It's been important for me too.
That's a good tool. Definitely.
Mhm.
I definitely agree that the Word of God is a tool
Yes.
in our tool belt for getting through some of the toughest times, just knowing His promises, knowing His character.
Yeah, and
So,
there's also comfort in a multitude of counselors. That's the other verse I wanted to tell you about because you were talking about
yes,
community. If they are godly people and they're giving you godly advice and wise advice, then there's comfort in that. There's that surety and that security that we need. All of us need a solid rock, solid foundation to stand on, and a soft place to land sometimes.
great. Well, thank you very much for your time. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate the inspiration you've given to our viewers and our community, and I hope that your community continues to support you as awesome as they have.
Yeah, they're
And
wonderful.
thank you for welcoming me into your community, and you're welcome in mine anytime.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
Okay.
Okay.